first I need to chop some logs to get them down to a well enough size that I can use to start a fire with. So before we do any more wood processing, you kind of need to find a spot. I kind of scoped out and found this spot was good. And after you find a spot, as you can see, there's a ton of debris around here. You need to clear it so you don't catch anything else on fire. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this spot. Something you also want to do, if you can, is dig a little hole. It doesn't need to be too deep, probably 4 to 6 inches deep. I'm gonna make mine about 2 foot diameter, depending on how big you want your fire. One of the tool I'm gonna use for this is this little folding hand shovel that I got for like 10 bucks. So next step is you're gonna wanna gather kindling, which is little sticks, anything this size, slightly bigger, slightly smaller, just a wood that's easy to catch fire. You want to make sure it's dry. So to make sure a stick is dry enough to use for kindling is you want to kind of break it, and if it snaps pretty easily, pretty clean, that's something you could use. You don't have moisture built up in the wood, which makes the wood a little bit more elastic. So typically this is the amount of kindling you might want to start with. You could always go more, you can't get too much. But since it is a little bit wet out here, I'm gonna gather more. A cool trick to do when starting up a fire like this, one of the most important things you can do is use the knife, and it's called batoning. And it's basically where you can process a log like this down into smaller bits that are easier to light and easier to work with. And the step out after this is making a feather stick, which is used after processing this little piece of wood. So first you want to take your knife, go about 1 inch in the log, as you can see, and you can grab a log, a stick. I just somehow perfectly found this stick to use, but you can just start smacking the wood all the way down till it's split. And it's called batoning because obviously you use this as a baton, and you want to split down the wood into little 1 by 1 pieces, smaller, bigger, just roughly around 1 by 1 inches. So I just processed all these sticks. As you can see, I got all of these here, all about the same size, and these would be the first sticks or pieces you use when starting this fire. They're easier to light, they're dry, and you can make a feather stick with them, and that's what we'll do next. A feather stick is basically a piece of wood like this that looks like it has feathers coming out of it. All right, so I've taken my kindling, broken it up, and my tinder, and put it into here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take my feather sticks and light them and lay them down here, and then I'll throw my tinder on top and slowly build up sticks bigger and bigger. So I've got my tinder pile here with my kindling as well. I've got my sticks and wood that I'm gonna use close. I've got my feather sticks here. I'm gonna start with the feather stick, and I'm gonna light this. All right, now I've got it lit, so I'm gonna put my feather sticks together down in my hole. So it's slowly building up. You wanna just keep throwing that tinder on top of it, because that's what's gonna keep it alive. And once you get this tinder lit, you wanna throw this kindling on top of it, because that is the next thing that's going to start to burn and that you want to catch. So now you just want to tend to the fire, continue to put slightly larger sticks on top of it, like the ones we made here from the logs that we batoned. So now I'm going to show you how to put out the fire. When putting out a fire, you want to be careful when throwing water directly on it. You don't want to put your head right above it, because there's going to be a ton of steam and smoke that comes up from it. You also want to make sure you stir it around, because eventually this will reignite if I just dump it and leave it. So this is kind of the proper way how to finish this fire. I'll also smother it out when I'm done, and it's going to rain tonight, so I don't have to worry about it at all. But as you can see, I've waited for it to burn down enough where it's just little pieces of coal or charcoal. Now, to fully put out this fire, since you dug this hole, you have some dirt off to the side. You want to just fill that whole pile in with this cold. This dirt's also pretty wet as well, so it's gonna put it out even better. Alrighty, as you can see, I have the whole area cleared. That's right where the fire was. You can't even tell now. So that's how you process wood, light a fire, and put it out using a ferro rod and just a couple of tools. I hoped everybody learned something from this. Thanks for watching.